So, it's about a year now that I bought the Segway Ninebot ES4. It was a good buy for me. Meaning, I did use it a lot. I saved money in it that you can't believe. Like, I used to spend 100 pesos, or that's about $2 per week for a for fuel for a motorcycle, and now it's only 4 pesos per week. Every time I charge the Ninebot ES4, it works so well that I used it daily, not all the time, mind you, but most of the time, and it is a big advantage. And also, it's compact. Now, there are pros and cons on a Segway Ninebot ES4. That means that it's not perfect. I bought that in October 2019, which is last year, and it's now October 2020, October 17 to be exact, which is Saturday. That's the reason why I'm filming this, because I can't really film it at work, mainly because it's not related to work. I am, by the way, the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Officer for Calibo. That means that climate change is also part of our advocacy, and including personal advocacy for me. That's the reason why I tend to gravitate more on technology, or on, let's say, for instance, electric personal mobility vehicles, and electric cars, electric bikes. That would be, that would be my thing. That would be the thing that I'd like. On this review, by the way, this is a review. This is a 1-year review of the Segway Ninebot ES4. Let's categorize it. We have practicality, portability, daily drive, also accessorizing. So that's the fourth category. And of course, the last is legality. So we're going to talk about legality. Practicality wise, it's very useful. Let's talk about parking first, in terms of practicality. There's a lot of cons than pros. With cons, we don't usually have parking areas. We don't have bike lanes here in Calibo, and I'm living in Calibo, Aklan. This is the capital town of the province of Aklan, and because most of the roads are small, they're just like two-lane roads. They're not even 4 lanes, and those lanes will only accommodate vehicles and tricycles, for the matter, and that's one problem. We don't have a lot of parking area. Sure, there are malls, but most of the malls are geared towards 4-wheel vehicles and motorcycles. And when we talk about bikes or personal mobility vehicles, or even if we talk about local term for PMVs here in the Philippines, especially if you're using electric scooters or EKS. So if we're talking about EKS or PMV, or even bikes, mountain bikes, or road bikes, we don't have a lot of option for parking. I'll try to ask. We'll try to ask. This is part of the new normal for as we are facing the Chinese Communist Party virus. We'll try to ask most of the malls here in Calibo if they can accommodate PMVs, personal mobility vehicles, in their baggage claims or baggage areas, if it works, or if they even have parking areas, or that can accommodate those those PMVs, and that will be really big advantage, and that will help basically those who are into getting the environment back on its knees, and this is part of it. So parking, there's a lot of cons than pros, but if you let's go head on to road use. Road use, again, there's not a lot of areas that you can use the PMVs or EKS because of the new guidelines for these vehicles, personal mobility vehicles, and EKS. You're only allowed to use municipal roads and barangay roads, and here in Kalibo I'm going to map that out because I'm also using those roads. Big disadvantage for road use is that we don't have that section where bike lanes are already in place. One reason for that is Kalibo has mostly has 2-lane roads, and those aren't really that wide. Also, although it's been already mentioned in the national level that local planners should be allocating small areas as bike lanes, where also AKS or electric scooters and personal mobility vehicles can also traverse. But here, because of the road condition, not road condition, but the how wide the road is, it was a problem. But a friend of mine, he is also in charge of the the local law with regards to road use. Basically, the chairperson for the local council, and that's Matt Aaron Guzman, and and he assured me that he's going to look into it and try to find a way to include it, because it's gonna be a new normal. Road use, we're going to map out the roads that PMVs or EKS are allowed, or even bikes. Bikes aren't allowed in the highways, and although that's actually a question for the Land Transportation Office, because if they're not allowing PMVs and EKS on highways, then it's the same with bikes, with mountain bikes and road bikes. I'm not talking about motorcycles, I'm talking about just bikes. So it's the same, and that's a big question for them. Again, we're with road use, we're gearing towards that, but we're going to map out roads here in Kalibo that we can use for PMVs and EKS and even bikes. Security wise, it's it's great. Just bring locks, those you can use U-locks, those big those locks with big things, snake things. You can lock on something, and that'll work. And I'll probably do some videos about how to lock your EKS. But security-wise, for Segway Ninebot ES4, unlike mid-range EKS that has those key activation, like an actual key, or even a remote that activates some type of early warning device, or theft alert. Segway Ninebot ES4 and those lower range models doesn't have those. So it's if you buy them, you're gonna have to provide a basic lock for those. Portability. It's very portable. It's small. It's low profile. You can fold it. It's easy to fold, by the way. You can take it anywhere, basically anywhere. I usually bring it inside the office. When I say inside the office, it's not just inside the building, but inside my own office at the back of my desk. Yeah, this is my studio back at home. So the weight is about 30.9 pounds or 14 kilograms, and that's really light in comparison to other scooters that will be above range, going to mid range and even higher, or even the Ferrari of scooters. That's going to be very heavy. In practicality, that will work out fine, or portability, sorry. So for daily drive, we'll talk about battery life, the distance, the suspension, or the lack of it, usability during a rain and splash and mud guards, which I'll tell you in a few. So let's talk about battery life. It has a good battery. It has an extension battery, but it also has problems. There's a reason why most, and even myself, will probably recommend to those who wanted to get a Segway Ninebot, the ES1 or ES2 models, or the Ninebot Mach, or the Ninebot Max. Mainly because there are problems with external batteries, and the ES4 is just an ES2 with an additional external battery that extends its range. So if I'm using the lowest setting, which is the lowest setting, I'm only generating about 300 watts of power, and if I go higher, which is around only to 800 watts, for around 300 watts with my weight and height, and adding to the scooter, that will only get me about 14, 15, or 16 kilometers per hour. If I go to the mid-range of speed, I'd probably go to about 22 kilometers per hour, and that's the maximum for that mid-range speed of the Ninebot ES4. And then if I go higher, which is the max power at 800 watts, I'll probably be scooting to about 28 kilometers per hour. For lighter people, like lighter persons, they'll probably get to above 31 kilometers per hour, especially for Filipinos. But for me, I'm a big guy, that's not gonna happen. I'll be at the most that I was able to generate power when it was new, which was last year. I was able to go to around 31 kilometers per hour, but that was new. And nowadays, if I try, and I've been working out, so I know that I was able to lessen my weight. But again, I wasn't able to go above that 31 kilometers per hour. It's just 28 kilometers per hour. The battery, like I said, has problems. And you have the error 042 that sometimes crops up, and I was able to make some changes with that and improve it. Or the pop-up, that's for when I fixed the error 042 problem. I'm not sure if they still make the ES4 models, but they just make the ES2 and offer the external battery as an option. Not a lot. I haven't seen websites or even Segway promoting a ES4, or selling ES4 as on its own. They just sell the ES2 with an option to upgrade by buying the external battery, which makes it ES4. Now, distance. Advertised, it says 45 kilometers. ES4. I'm talking ES4, not ES2. ES2 has probably around 28 kilometers. I'm not sure, but for ES4, the advertised range is 45 kilometers. But again, it depends on the weight, and also if you're running at the lowest lowest nominal setting, which is around 250 watts. That will probably get you 45 to 45 kilometers per hour. But of course, while traveling, I usually mix it up. I just suddenly boost it up for a bit because I needed to go there a bit faster, or I needed that oomph of power, and that works. But it also drains your battery, and I haven't been able to complete the 45 kilometers. Probably I was able to do the 40 or 40 kilometers or 41 kilometers, which is good. But again, it also depends on your weight and the settings that you're using. Suspension. Sadly, it doesn't have one. Well, it does, but it's not sufficient. Another problem is that the ES4 has solid tires. It's rubber all around inside, and you'll feel the vibration, you'll feel the thuds, you'll feel the pock marks on the road. Especially here in the Philippines, we don't have a lot of really nice roads, and there are roads that it hasn't been repaved yet. It hasn't been repaired yet, so you'll really feel that sudden bump, or whatever the sound effect is. But you really feel that, and you feel your teeth rattling, and that's bad. It also adds a bit of it adds a bit more strain on the existing suspension of the Segway Ninebot, which will be bad. Adding to your weight, which is a little bit big, so that will be a problem. But it will still get you to your destination. Again, the problem is suspension. The cost per charge is from what when I asked some people, when I asked somebody from the community with the electric kick scooters, not just here, here in the Philippines, especially in Manila, some says around between 4 to 7 pesos per charge. 4 to 7 pesos. For 7 pesos, let's say 7 pesos, it's around 14 cents, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. That's really something, and I'm using that daily. I only charge it. I'm going from here, from my house, going to work, and it's not that far. But if I'm using my motorcycle for about a week, I usually spend around 100 pesos, which is around less than $2. The Segway Ninebot ES4 is IPX4 certified, and that means that it can handle rain and splashes, which is really good. Just don't run it on a flooded area. But I've used that several times in the rain because I don't have any choice. I have to go home or wait for the rain, which will probably take more than 4 hours to just die down. And that really worked out. Using the Segway Ninebot ES4 is really nice. It's not really waterproof, it's resistant. And the only thing that I'm griping about with the Ninebot ES4 is, aside from the suspension, is that it's really got bad mud guards. And I guess it's not just most of the kick scooters are the same. If you don't want those splash and mud splash on your pants or even your feet if you're wearing shorts. I usually just put a big ass plastic or something at the back, which will cover you know, the splash, but it doesn't. It will also negate the way that you can brake it from by stepping at the back brake, because again, Ninebot ES4 doesn't have those handle brakes. It's just that thumb brake on the left side. Yeah, the left side. So if you do the thumb brake, then it's an electric braking system, and it will take a bit, you know, for a few meters before it brakes totally. So you have the option of stepping on the mud guard, which has a rubber grip that will provide braking point for you. So it will brake and stop the scooter. Mud guards for or splash guards for the Segway Ninebot ES4 is crap. So how do you accessorize a Ninebot ES4? By its own, it looks really sleek and techy or modern, which is what I like. But you needed to have additional accessories. So if you're using it on a daily basis, and one of the things that I added is the on the handlebar is that it can't accommodate a lot of accessories. So I added an extension handlebar on top of it so that I can mount my the first is the side mirror, which is only one on the left side. Also I can mount another light, which is another headlight, mainly because I also mounted a Wildman 3-liter pouch, that's waterproof, on at the front, and covered my headlight. So the existing headlight of the Ninebot ES4 is already covered by that Wildman 3-liter pack, so that negates the headlight. So I have to mount another one. That also gives me another advantage. Without using the light on the stem of the Ninebot, that gives me more power with a built-in horn, and that works well for me. So on the other side of that added small extension of a handlebar, I added the buttons for the remote buttons for this thing here. So this one, if you turn it on, it can link to that button, and the button is a wireless button, can control the signal light. So this one mounts on my helmet, and if I turn this on, if I turn the left turning signal on, it will activate here. Or if you go to the right, I can use this one by just using that button. Or if I'm stopping, or if I'm driving at night, I can turn this on, and it will illuminate the back of my helmet, and that will be visible for those on vehicles, or even on those big trucks. The ES4's deck has its own underglow, and which is really nice, especially at night. If you turn that on, if you can use and you can use an app, by the way. The app is in this phone. Yeah, where is it? So it's on the phone. You can manipulate the colors. You can change, and by using the app, you can manipulate the power. How many power, if you want to cut off for the power at 90% or 100%, you can do that. Now, in terms of signal lights, the way kick scooters are made, for some, they have their own signal lights, and they're way down there that most vehicles or even big trucks, they can't see them. And the way that you can use them is to buy nifty little things like this. 300 pesos to 400 pesos, which is give or take, which is around $8. It's just $8, so, or $8. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It will help out a lot. Also, click the like button and share this channel so that everybody will be able to, you know, if you're interested into making a difference by stopping the use of of those antiquated combustion engines, then shift to electric power. So share this video. Also click the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I have a new video. See you guys next time. And unboxing will be sometime around end of October, maybe around 1st of November, so I don't know yet. Try to find out what type of scooter will I be unboxing. See you next time.